Hello dear student, today we are going to discuss few more details about the chapter current electricity. So we are going to discuss the most important topic in this chapter, that is derivation of relation between electric current I and drift velocity Vd. Drift velocity V. So dear student, observe carefully. You know already in previous lecture I told relation between electric current and drift velocity is NEAVD. This is the formula. So now we will derive this. How we will get this? Observe carefully. Generally, let us consider a conductor. This conductor should contain charge carriers. These are moving with some velocity. It contains charge carriers. These are moving with some velocity. So when it attains velocity, if external electric field is applied, if you apply electric field direction in this direction, then the charge carriers inside the conductor moves opposite to the direction of electric field. You know already, drift velocity direction is always opposite to the direction of electric field. Always opposite to the direction of electric field. Generally, I want electric current. Electric current formula, charge by time. Electric current formula, charge by time. So we are finding first charge. Charge formula, charge by time. So we consider Q by T. Here Q is nothing but number of electrons into charge of electron. Number of electrons into charge of electron. You know already, number of electrons we are finding in charge Q is equal to number of electrons into charge of electron. Number of electrons, how to find? You know already, N is nothing but number of, here N is nothing but number of electrons by volume. Number of electrons present in unit volume is called N here. So this is also called as a free electron density. N is nothing but free electron density. Here N is nothing but, N is not a number of electrons. N is number of electrons per unit volume. Please watch the previous lecture. You will get a clear idea about this. In that lecture I told already, N is nothing but number of electrons per unit volume. Number of electrons I want. That means number of electrons I want, number of electrons by volume is nothing but area into length. Area of the conductor into length of the conductor is equal to N. I want here number of electrons. Number of electrons is equal to N into AL. N into AL. So NAL. Area into length this is. So volume is nothing but area into length. So here we got NAL. So we got number of electrons is NAL. Number of electrons is nothing but NAL into charge of electron, already you know E. That means finally what you got? NaEl. Okay. Here N means free electron density. Otherwise N is nothing but number of electrons per unit volume. So here time. We want time also. For example, we want current, electric current. For finding electric current, we want electric charge and time. Electric charge is nothing but NaE into L. Time is nothing but, we know already. Velocity is equal to distance by time. Velocity is equal to distance by time. Time is equal to distance by velocity. Time is equal to distance by velocity. So time is equal to distance by velocity. Distance is nothing but here length. Length L by velocity is nothing but drift velocity Vd. So time is nothing but here. Time is equal to distance by velocity. Distance means L by Vd. Substitute here. I is equal to charge means NaEL by time means L by Vd. L by Vd. Here L going to be cancelled. Finally, I is nothing but NeaVd. So electric current I is equal to NeaVd. This is the derivation. So this is a derivation. So this is about derivation. Okay. So we are deriving like this. So we want electric current. Electric current is nothing but electric charge by time. So first to find electric charge. How to find electric charge? Electric charge you know already. Number of electrons into charge of electron. Because electric charge formula N into E. N into E. So quantization of charge. Number of electrons into charge of electron. Number of electrons into. So Q is nothing but here. I should take Q is equal to Ne. Here N means, capital N means number of electrons. Number of electrons. E means charge of electron. Charge of electron. Charge of electron. So number of electrons into charge of electron by using that formula. Number of electrons how to find? Number of electrons how to find? By using this. Number of electrons by using the volume is nothing but here. Number of electrons is equal to N into Al. If you substitute N into Al here, we will get NaEl. Time is nothing but distance by velocity. L by velocity is nothing but drift velocity. By using that, we got electric current formula NeaVd. So now, so this is a derivation of relation between electric current and drift velocity. This is very, very important for the board point of view. So, and a neat point of view, this formula is very, very important. We are solving numericals based upon this formula. Now, we are going to discuss. Well, to continuing my lecture on current electricity. So now the topic is Ohm's law. Derivation. Ohm's law derivation. So that to scalar form of Ohm's law. Scalar form of Ohm's law derivation. So you know already we had a formula of Ohm's law is we know already I is equal to formula NeaVd. This is one formula. And drift velocity formula you know already. Vd is equal to acceleration E into E by charge EQ by M generally. This is EQ by M into tau. So here Q is nothing but charge of electron. So E by M into tau. So these two formulas already you know. So if we substitute this Vd value here, so this is equation 2, this is equation 1. Substitute Vd value in equation 1. Vd value in equation 1. Substitute Vd value in equation 1. So you know already equation 1 is nothing but I is equal to NeaVd. So nothing but here N into E into A. Vd value is E into small e by M into tau. So that is equal to I. So from this we can write this one as NeaVd into E is written as V by L. So you know already electric field E is equal to V by L. You know already this formula, electric field E is equal to V by L. Substitute instead of E, V by L. So from this what we got, I is equal to N into E square, N into E square A, N into E square A, V by M into L into tau. So here V is equal to I into M into L by tau E square N A. You can write like this. So V is equal to I into M L by tau E square N A. So that is nothing but V is equal to I into, so observe here carefully, M value is constant, L value is constant, tau value is constant, charge of electron is constant, number of electrons per unit volume is constant, and area of cross section is constant. All values are constant. So this is treated as some constant value. So this is some constant. Okay. So this is some constant. This is V is equal to IR. So we can write like this, because here R is nothing but ML by tau E square NA is equal to constant. ML by tau E square into N into A. This is constant value. Very, very important. What is the resistance formula? In the case of mass, length, area, number of electrons per unit volume. N means not a number of electrons. Number of electrons per unit volume. That is important. N means number of electrons per unit volume. E means charge of electron. Tau means relaxation time. R is equal to ML by tau E square NA. That is resistance. That resistance is constant. When? This is important. At constant temperature. Only this is valid. If temperature is not constant, then N value will varies. N and tau will depends upon temperature. Here N value and tau value, because N and tau will depends upon temperature. So at constant temperature only capital R is constant. So if capital R is constant means, so definitely V is equal to I into constant. So constant, that means we got, so we will derive from this, we will derive V is directly proportional to I. So V is directly proportional to I at a constant temperature. This is very, very important. When R value is constant, if temperature constant, then only R value constant. If temperature is not constant, what will happen? If temperature is varies means N value will varies, tau value will varies. If N and tau will varies means resistance will varies. If resistance will varies means, so it does not satisfies Ohm's law. When Ohm's law is satisfies, V is directly proportional to I. And one more thing, V by I is equal to constant. So if V by I is equal to constant, then only Ohm's law is valid. Then only Ohm's law is valid. So this is by using current, electric current and drift velocity formula, relation formula, and by using drift velocity formula, so we have to derive we are derived here scalar form of Ohm's law. Finally we got the potential difference is directly proportional to electric current. So this is about the scalar form of Ohm's law. So next we are going to discuss. So we have two types of conductors: ohmic conductors, non-ohmic conductors. What is meant by ohmic conductor, what is meant by non-ohmic conductor, we will discuss now. Dear student, today we are going to start few more important details about this chapter current electricity. In that, most important concept, Ohm's law. So this is very important for the board point of view and a NEET point of view. Ohm's law. What is meant by Ohm's law? And what is the derivation of Ohm's law? This Ohm's law also, this is a scalar form of Ohm's law. What is this? Scalar form of Ohm's law. Okay. So how the questions are asking? State Ohm's law and derive scalar form of Ohm's law. State Ohm's law and derive scalar form of Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is, first of all, the potential difference is directly proportional to electric current. Potential difference is directly proportional to electric current at constant temperature. So this is the statement of Ohm's law. What is the statement of Ohm's law? What is the main statement of Ohm's law? Potential difference is directly proportional to electric current at constant temperature. If you consider any device, so if it satisfies Ohm's law means, definitely the potential difference across that device is directly proportional to electric current passing through that device. That means potential difference is indicated with V. V is directly proportional to I. At constant temperature. V is directly proportional to I. That is called at constant temperature. So here, if you remove this proportionality, we are placing some constant. So that constant is R. R is nothing but here proportionality constant. The proportionality constant is nothing but here resistance. This is nothing but here a resistance. R is here resistance. R is nothing but here resistance. So what is the unit of resistance? What is meant by resistance and what is the unit of resistance? We will discuss. Resistance. It is a property of a resistor. It is defined as it opposes the electric current. Okay. Resistance is a device, so it is a property of resistor. It is defined as it opposes the electric current. Resistance is independent upon potential difference V and I. It is independent upon V and I. Resistance is depends upon length, area. Resistance is depends upon length, area. This is very, very important. This depends upon length, area and temperature. And nature of material. Nature of material. Okay. Resistance is depends upon length, area, temperature and nature of material. Okay. So this is about resistance. Resistance is the property of resistor. It opposes the flow of current. It opposes the flow of current. That is the nature of resistor. And symbol of resistor. This is a symbol of resistor. Symbol of resistor. What is the symbol of resistor? This is the symbol of resistor. This is the symbol of resistor. So resistor can be indicated with like this. So what is meant by Ohm's law? The potential difference is directly proportional to electric current at constant temperature. The potential difference across any device. If you consider one device that satisfies Ohm's law means the potential difference across the device is directly proportional to electric current. So this is a V is equal to IR. R is nothing but proportionality constant, that is nothing but resistance. The definition of resistance is it stops the flow of current. It opposes the electric current. It is defined as it opposes the electric current. Resistance is independent upon V and I. Resistance is depends upon length, area, temperature and nature of material. And one more important thing is unit of SI unit of resistance. SI unit of resistance. What is the SI unit of resistance here? What is the SI unit of resistance here? SI unit of resistance is ohm. SI unit of resistance is ohm. That is indicated with like this. SI unit of resistance is ohm. For R. So for R, this resistance R is equal to V by I. This can be also written as volt per ampere. So 1 volt per ampere is equal to 1 ohm. 1 volt per 1 ampere is equal to 1 ohm. Volt per ampere is nothing but resistance. So SI unit of resistance is ohm, and it is ohm. It is indicated with like this symbol, ohm or volt per ampere. 1 volt per ampere is equal to 1 ohm. This is the SI unit of resistor. That is a symbol of resistor. So this is about Ohm's law. Next we will discuss derivation of Ohm's law. And next we will discuss resistivity. And next we will discuss vector form of Ohm's law. This is a scalar form of Ohm's law. Next we will discuss vector form of Ohm's law. Hello dear student. To continuing my lecture on the topic current electricity. So now we are going to discuss few more concepts related with the chapter current electricity. So that is, we had two types of conductor. One is ohmic conductors. Second one is non-ohmic conductors. First one is ohmic conductor. Second one is non-ohmic conductors. So observe definition carefully. The materials which obeys Ohm's law. The materials which obeys Ohm's law. Obeys means satisfies. The materials which satisfies Ohm's law is called ohmic conductors. Ohmic conductors. Example, all metals are the best examples. All metals are the best example for ohmic conductors. Next definition is the materials which are not obeys Ohm's law, the materials which are not obeys Ohm's law is called non-ohmic conductors. So which are not obeys Ohm's law is called non-ohmic conductors. Example LED bulbs. So example LED and semiconductors. Okay. So all metals are satisfies Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? V is directly proportional to I. Potential difference is directly proportional to I. That satisfies by all metals. So those metals are called ohmic conductors. What are non-ohmic conductors? The materials which do not obey Ohm's law is called non-ohmic conductors. Example LED and semiconductors. How can we draw here? So for the graph, for ohmic conductors, graph between V versus I. Graph between V versus I is directly straight line. V versus I is straight line. So this is a figure for ohmic conductors. All metals satisfies this condition. Next, for non-ohmic conductors. Best example, semiconductor we consider. How the graph should be? For the semiconductor, the graph should be like this. Okay. So this is a graph for the semiconductors. Observe. So this graph is not satisfies Ohm's law. Here this graph is satisfies Ohm's law because V is here. This is straight line, na? So here it is straight line. Straight line means here V is directly proportional to I. So from this V is directly proportional to I. Here V is not directly proportional to I. Am I right? So V is not directly proportional to I. This is a current and here it is voltage. Okay. So here it is the voltage. So this is a graph for semiconductors. This is a figure for semiconductors. This is a V versus I diagram for semiconductors. So the materials which are obeys Ohm's law is called ohmic conductors. The materials which do not obey Ohm's law is called non-ohmic conductors. Next example, all metals obeys Ohm's law, and semiconductors, LED are not obeys Ohm's law. Those are non-ohmic conductors. This is V versus I diagram. This is a V versus I diagram for this. So this is about ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors. So in the next lectures, in coming lectures, we are going to discuss a vector form of Ohm's law, and the derivation for the vector form of Ohm's law. And one more point there: resistance, conductance, conductivity, resistivity, current density. So these are all parameters we will discuss in next lecture. I hope all of you understood this. So if you had any doubt regarding this lecture, feel free to mention in comment box. Thank you for watching my lecture. So my dear students, please practice concepts and as well as do numericals. So then only you will get a clear idea about each and every concept. So all the very best.